Good morning, everybody. I'm here with Alex and Alec. And today we're gonna try to get into a new area. It's quite a long hike to get in there. It's because it's a longer walk. We're gonna be bringing some pack boards with us and a bit more gear so we have those supplies because we're further into the bush. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and let's get into another foraging adventure. Here's the ridgeline we want to try to hike in on. And the burn says it doesn't start till there, but I think it actually creeps down further. But the real question is, can we cross this tributary here? The other day we were in here on this section and that was a very short walk. This is a much further walk. So we need more safety gear and more gear with us when we go in.
See you later. Have a good day. Watch out for bears.
There's a bear coming, going, yeah.
Traveling down the remote Klondike Highway to get to our patch. It's quite a walk. It's about 4 or 5 kilometers till we hit burn, and that's if we don't run into any issues. But we could just hear rolling thunder in the distance, so we're not sure how that's going to go. We might get rained on later in the day. We're going to set our compasses. I've got the GPS, I've got the drone with me, and I've got all the bear safety gear and some first aid. So let's do this. Just walk straight up that.
Orange color, are they? Reddish? Orange?
Our nice game trail has slowly disappeared, and now we're going through the sticks again. We were hoping that the clear ridgeline would take us closer to the edge of the burn, but it quickly disappeared, leaving us deep in a section of small boreal spruce trees. Likely regrowth from a forest fire from around 30 years ago. It's so thick that we have no visibility to see the surrounding landmarks. We are relying on the GPS, compasses, maps, and the drone to guide us as we trek further into the bush towards the fire. With no exact heading, we'll have to continually triangulate our location so that we don't head kilometers in the wrong direction. Making the wrong decision could be dangerous, and we could easily get lost, so we need to be methodical about how we approach, because it could take hours to get back to the road from this far into the bush.
There's some mud, I'll check it out. Pretty solid mud.
There's still snow in the creek. Is that a moose trail?
Either that or multi-game.
So here's a really good example of permafrost. It's all pure ice. Cover that back over. Moss is like a big insulator, and it gets so cold here in the winters that these bogs completely freeze over. We've been walking through this muskeg swamp here for a while now, and we can see the burn way in the distance. So we're slowly inching our way closer. So we are really in the thick of it here. We're quite a ways in. We couldn't follow a solid trail. So every step we take, we have to be careful, because getting out of the bush if you get injured this far in would be a real challenge. Twisting an ankle out here would be very dangerous. We haven't seen a single sign of human activity since we left the power line cut 4 kilometers ago.
Peat bog, and now we're in this cool meadow. Just opens right up.
Beautiful. Very, very nice. Try that. So we're getting close to the burn now. We are already at 4.34 kilometers.
It's definitely a longer one.
Stopping in an older section of forest for lunch, we rest our legs, knowing that we are nearing the hillside that will eventually lead to the burn. With terrain like this, it will often take twice as long to walk out of the bush with a full packboard compared to walking in empty. We came from way over there, hiked up this valley on the ridge and then through the muskeg and up this other hill, and now it's hailing again.
We are way up here. We just hiked along this ridge of poplars, then pretty much came through that, and now it's snowing. What a view.
We feel that we are getting close, but to make sure we are approaching the fire from the right angle, we decide to send up the drone again. Seeing that it's only a couple hundred feet further up the hill is a huge relief. This is the first moment that we're 100% certain we can make it to this section of the wildfire on foot. Although we're excited, we're also becoming increasingly aware of the bad weather that's starting to head up the valley towards us. So we have to remain cautious. If there are mushrooms, the excitement of Morel fever can easily cause us to make an unsafe decision. We know from learned experience that keeping a level head is crucial in these scenarios. Morels, I'm so close now. Burn. Baby Morels, 4 of them, 5 of them, 6, 7, 7 of them, 8, 9, 9 of them. Fire cups. Okay, about 2.5 hours to get in here. 5.5 kilometers to hit the burn. So I am seeing morels as I come up. Here, there's quite a few right here actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 right here. But they're all really small. Maybe some of these more open areas will have a earlier flush and they'll be a little bit bigger.
Do you radio at this point, or should just stay?
We're just scouting around a bit more before we start thinning through the mushrooms and doing a small harvest. I'm just gonna pick these two because they're about 1.5 inches tall. And we pick without the stems because we are drying our mushrooms, and most of the debris is on the stem, as you can see here in Burns, the species. So this keeps them clean, and the stems don't rehydrate quite as well.
Ooh, starting to see quite a few more here now. Look at that one. These. And that one. That one.
Woohoo!
Oh, look at that nice little pop. You see all those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
So far we're only getting a few, and a lot of them aren't ready, but even if they were all big, it's not a really good flush. It's pretty below average, I would say, for what we're used to. But at least we're getting something. Now luckily, since these have popped, it hasn't rained hard, so they're not covered in debris. If it were to rain really hard, the ash can splash up onto the mushrooms and kind of ruin the crop in these exposed areas. There is the first real nice one I've had this season. It's a very nice mushroom. More than 15 here, and I'm only taking 2 or 3. We are leaving a lot of mushrooms. And one morel can produce millions of spores. It just kind of got into a bit of a better zone, and I'm a little uphill of where that needle zone started. So we've just started picking, and there's this rain cloud, and the wind is moving this way, and we're 5.5 kilometers of walking through some tough ground in the bush. This weather system's getting closer. Starting to feel a few raindrops and an increase in wind. I think it's going to hit us pretty soon. Let's just hope it doesn't turn to thunder and lightning. Well, it's not a whole lot per hour, but we're really happy to be out here. If this is your first time seeing our channel, go check out some of our picking from last season. You'll know what we're talking about. That's what we're hoping to get into soon. So you got to start somewhere, right? Hey, gross.
So see these morels? You rotate them a little bit and they get lighter. It's sporing. The color it should look like, but then spore. And they're quite small and they're already sporing. Here's another one. Normal side, spore side. Pretty good.
And I was just starting to see babies in a few of those needles though. Cool. Well, not all of them, so thank God. Here it comes. The rain's starting to hit us. And it's cold. It's really cold right now. So I think we've scouted this. We've got the drone shots we need. You guys want to do another bucket pick, or do you want to get the heck out of here before we get into a dangerous situation?
I'm actually pretty cold. Probably a good idea to get out.
Yeah. So we'll probably head out. It's a long hike, as you saw on the way in. Make the safe decision to get out of here before it gets slippery on this long hike. Once we get home, we can sort of analyze the drone shots we took and get an idea of how we could get to that higher section of burn, because there's a big patch of burn, higher elevation from here. Now usually the higher elevation areas at this point in the season will be further behind than the lower elevation. So it's likely that they're all, if there is morels up there, they're smaller than here. And 70 or 80% of the morels here aren't big enough to pick. So happy to get a basket and a half. Now let's get home, get out of this rain. There's something down there making noise right now. Can't tell what it is. It's very cold. Fingers are going numb. Just came across through there. Starting our long walk out here now. It's freezing. Whoa, you alright?
A big old chunk.
Nice.
Nick is like,
So we're walking out. We're nowhere near the burn. We're far away from the burn. go make some dinner and dry some mushrooms. We are back at camp. And there's only one place where you can buy food for about 200 kilometers in either direction. And we got Randy a burger. Let's go see how he enjoys this.
Oh, what you do?
Got you a burger.
Ooh, burger.
It's time to dry some mushrooms. I haven't dried anything yet, so we're excited to dry a few. Sun came out for us here, and just in time to dry our mushrooms. There's the cloud going away. So these drawers can be filled right to the top, but there's no point doing that when you don't have that many mushrooms. We might as well space them out. They'll get cleaned off a bit better that way. Fire up the Jenny. Okay, fire it up. There we go, we got Morel air and spore shooting out here. I can smell the spore coming out of the dryer into the air.
Smells like Morels.
Smells like Morels, eh? Oh yeah, so that's pulling all the dry air from our wood stove room here through the ducting. Yes, this one, yeah. You can feel the heat sucking through that dryer. Nice. Morels, eh? How was the burger?
Moose burger. Woo, Moose Creek.
So tomorrow it's supposed to rain pretty hard. We're sort of at this point in the season where we're just waiting for the mushrooms to grow. We don't want to pick them too small. We don't like doing that. We don't support doing that. And it also is just a waste on top of not being as ethical. You want the mushrooms to be big enough that they're releasing some spores. But soon, there's some hot weather coming. And that should kick things off for us pretty quick. I mean, there's lots of babies out there. All of the areas that have the orange needles are just starting to show a few pins. So hopefully it really kicks off within the next week for us. Last night it was below freezing and there's still some frost in the ground, so I was really cold. I was shivering in my tent. I couldn't sleep until about 3 in the morning and then got up into that big hike today. So tonight I'm resorting to 3 sleeping bags and hot rocks. Show you how I do the hot rocks. Now this is an awesome trick. It's so easy to do. You can just stick a hot rock by the fire and then put it into a towel, or you can do it the way I do it, which is a little more controlled. So I've got a piece of marble that I bring with me everywhere I go pretty much. Just a little chunk of marble, nothing special. And I put it into the boiling water pot on the fire. So it's been there for a while now. Just scoop this chunk of marble out and the heat will make it dry off in no time at all. And then you can see it's already almost dry. And then I'm just gonna pop that into this bag here, and that will go in my sleeping bag with me and keep me nice and warm. See, it's already dry. It's pretty hot. Right into there. And now I've got a little warm stone in my bed with me. Wow. And this will hold its heat for hours. Anyways, hope you enjoyed watching today. If you're new, consider subscribing if you like our mushroom picking adventures and wild harvesting adventures. And everybody else who's continued watching, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. It does cost us money to do this. We only do it because we really enjoy doing it. Dealing with all the cameras when we're working out here is a little bit of an extra task for us, so we do appreciate you guys subscribing and sticking around. So anyways, we'll see you next time.